This is KGW News at Sunrise.
In less than 24 hours, this wildfire in Wasco County exploded, burning 10,000 acres. Evacuation orders remain in place this morning for areas around Maupin. Coming up, hear from folks fearing that fire will head their way. Plus,
it just seems like there's great beer being made on both sides of it, so the rules around that, I think, should kind of mirror one another, in my opinion.
Oregon and Washington known for beer, but some say the rules around distributing it across the borders aren't exactly fair. Now some Washington brewers are suing the state of Oregon. We compare regulations in both states to see where the imbalance lies.
And we were always required in school to have them, but why? We're talking about the number 2, specifically number 2 pencils. We're taking a quick look at where that name comes from, coming up in our latest What's in a Name at 5:15.
and in a random moment here on Sunrise, I'm going to show you the world's biggest fort.
Huge.
Yeah, it is huge. It's in Fairview. It's 37 feet tall, 2.5 tons. I guess this is a Guinness thing. It recently beat out Missouri's fork. So take that, Missouri. It's stuck in the middle of the Fairview Food Plaza, the city-backed food cart pod. That'll get your attention, make you want to buy something.
I guess so. That's super cool. I didn't even know that was there, to be honest with you. Wow.
That's what I said. It's a random fact. That's what I'm here for.
Looks great, all lit up on a Thursday. Good morning to you. Thanks for joining us. Yeah, and it feels so much more mild out there this morning.
So we haven't stayed in the 70s for several weeks at this point. We could do that today.
Nice.
Yeah. Here's a look at our Wells Fargo building. The sun comes up at 2 minutes before 6, so still dark. And the fact that it's cloudy over downtown means we're not going to see the brightness even as early as we have been seeing it. 63 is the number. There are breaks in cloud cover when you get south of Portland, but generally we're looking for it to be more cloudy than not. Perhaps all the way into the noon hour. 63 now, 69 at noon, and then developing sunshine. And maybe we stay in the 70s, forecasting 79 for a high.
That is perfect. All right, Rod, thank you. We'll see you soon. We start this morning with an update on that wildfire burning in Wasco County. It is now at 10,000 acres, 0% containment. It's officially called the Miller Road Fire. It's burning about 13 miles southwest of Maupin. Nearly 70 firefighters are assigned to it, and the governor declared a state of emergency to bring in crews from around the state. This all started Tuesday afternoon, growing from 1,000 acres to over 10,000 in less than 24 hours. It's burning in heavy grass, shrubs, and juniper. So when the wind picked up yesterday, it really started spreading fast. Still no confirmation on the burned structures, but we did hear from neighbors who are worried it's going to come their way.
Freaky, just really scary, terrifying experience.
I think it's crazier than heck. This is the 3rd year we've been in a fire danger.
Some areas west of Maupin remain under evacuation this morning. We'll update you if anything changes.
And the Mckinney fire burning in California near the Oregon border is now 10% contained. In their latest update, officials say it has now burned more than 57,000 acres overall, but the size of the fire has not grown. Officials say cooler temperatures and some rain prevented the fire from spreading more, but they expect that to change over the next few days with drier and hotter weather in the forecast. So far, 4 people have died. Nearly 6,000 people have also been forced to evacuate. Meantime, dozens of pets were rescued from the Mckinney fire. At least 160 of them ended up at a place called Rescue Ranch in Wairika. That includes a Chug and her 5 puppies. That's a Chihuahua Pug mix, by the way. The shelter manager says some of the dogs may stay at the shelter for months. And while there are concerns about having enough staff and food on hand, they are committed to helping these dogs.
You know, it's highly stressful for the dogs. So we want to make sure that we can do everything we can to make sure that their stay here is going to be as stress-free as possible.
He says they've received a whole lot of donations since the fire started. People have also volunteered to help in the shelter. If you're interested in helping out, you can check out their website, rrdog.org.
Well, the latest tally from Washington election officials shows no major changes in the race for the 3rd Congressional District. This race got national attention because the incumbent Republican voted to impeach former President Trump, and a lot of House members who did that lost their primaries. Now to those numbers. Look at that. Democrat Marie Gluesenkamp-Perez maintaining a decisive lead with 32% of the vote. Longtime GOP incumbent Jamie Herrera Butler is second with 24%. Remember, these numbers are preliminary, but unless there's a big swing with the remaining ballots to be counted, Perez and Butler will be the two candidates that move on to the general election in November. And if you're looking for results from other races or ballot measures, we have the full list on our website, kgw.com/elections.
3 Washington breweries are suing the state of Oregon. They want to make it easier and more affordable to distribute beer across state lines.
Yeah, they say the laws regulating beer distribution to Oregon customers are unfair. One of the breweries filing the lawsuit is in Vancouver. Catherine Cook talked with the owner.
At Fortside Brewing Company in Vancouver, there's always something new on tap.
Stratospheric Hazy IPA is one of our latest.
Co-founder Mike DeFabio is proud of what they do. He wants to share it with others, including businesses across the Columbia River, without breaking the bank. Which brings us to the latest thing Fortside is brewing up, a lawsuit against the state of Oregon.
It's kind of economic discrimination.
Right now, Washington brewers cannot direct ship to customers' homes in Oregon, but Oregon breweries can direct ship to Washington. That's one complaint in the lawsuit filed by Fortside and 2 other Washington breweries. Here's the other part. To distribute beer to Oregon businesses, Oregon law requires out-of-state breweries to go through a third-party distributor, something that, once again, Oregon breweries don't have to do when distributing to Washington. Fortside started their own distribution company in Oregon, but it's far from a fix-all.
It's a whole nother company, a whole nother federal wholesaler's permit, another state permit with the OLCC. It costs us thousands of dollars a year. It's pretty excessive costs for a small business.
The lawsuit addresses Oregon's 3-tier control system: manufacturers, distributors, and retailers.
And why it's set up that way is so that a manufacturer doesn't exert influence over a retailer, so that there's more, an even playing field for all brewers or other manufacturers.
Bryant Haley is a spokesperson for the Oregon Liquor and Cannabis Commission. Because the laws fall on the OLCC to enforce, its commissioner is named in the lawsuit.
We're in a holding pattern, waiting to see what the courts play out. If the legislature wants to take action on this and perhaps give us different guidance, that's something that could come down the line. But as an administrative agency, we're set to follow the laws and statutes that are put towards us.
Fortside is one of 32 breweries in Southwest Washington, and right now, one of just 6 of those that ships its beer to Oregon. They think that number would be a lot bigger if there were fewer restrictions, financial and otherwise.
These guys make great beer.
Michael Dines is a Fortside regular, but crossed the Columbia, and he says so many Oregonians don't know what they're missing.
It just seems like there's great beer being made on both sides of it, so the rules around that I think should kind of mirror one another in my opinion.
Mike DeFabio will raise a glass to that.
It's not like we're getting an advantage to sell to Oregon. It's just leveling the playing field.
In Vancouver, Catherine Cook, KGW News.
The Northwest does make good beer and wine and cider, refreshing. It's also refreshing the temperatures that we're finally having in the morning.
So remember yesterday we talked about, okay, we're going to be cooling down a degree. 2 degrees, but today it's a whole bunch of degrees.
Nice. Whoa, okay.
All right, here we go. We have a cold front that's slowly pushing in. It's more of just kind of a little wave of cooler weather, but it is arriving with a push of some low cloud cover. It is arriving with a little dab of light moisture in spots, including the Long Beach Peninsula and then up toward Seattle. You folks on the North Coast, certainly the potential of a little dab of moisture. This actually shows a little dab of moisture around Newport. This is 9 o'clock this morning. Cloudiness is broken between Salem and Eugene right now, but solid from Portland up toward Longview. That could continue up until about the noon hour, and here we are at 1:30. Then things start to break up, and we see increasing sunshine this afternoon, but very, very comfortable weather. Depending on the amount of sun you get at your place, you'll either just hit 80 or a little bit above, or you'll stay shy and hold in the 70s. Nice, mostly clear evening coming our way. That's 8:30. We are watching a chance of some scattered shower and thunderstorm activity out here in southeastern Oregon, including you folks in Burns. Otherwise, everybody's dry. And by the way, because of generally cooler temperatures statewide today, today. No red flag warnings have been posted, so that's good news. We did update you on that fire out near Maupin and mention the winds, and those winds today again will be from the west and gusting to about 30 to 35 miles per hour at times. In fact, it's already, or blowing right now, I should say, out in the Dalles to about 25 miles per hour. So it is windy even this morning out in the gorge. Otherwise, winds are light. 52 Salem, these are current numbers. So yeah, that's a sign that it's been fairly clear overnight. 52 Salem, it's in the 40s in Eugene. How about that? Then you get underneath the cloud cover. Portland, Kelso holding in the low 60s. Here are the numbers for today coming your way. So early cloud mix, we'll call it, in the mid and south Willamette Valley. Otherwise a sunny afternoon. Temperatures depending on sun, 80 or not quite there. Maybe Salem gets a little bit warmer than 80, but only 74 expected in Longview. Probably will still be overcast at noon for you folks. Then increasing sun. Vancouver 79, Battleground 76 degrees, 7-day numbers. Tomorrow it's back to all sun, 85, and there's that little stretch of hot weather again. 92, 97 on Sunday, 93 on Monday, and then I still think we break the heat on Tuesday and start to cool back down, and that is your forecast.
All right, thank you, Rod. We are talking the #2 pencil this morning. It's actually the #1 requested writing utensil for school kids. You probably haven't given it much thought, but it does have an interesting history. We will walk you through it in this special edition of What's in a Name, coming up next.